Well, I thought it'd be a good time to make a brief update video. Some big changes have happened in the last little while. Um, so I went and did things the old-fashioned way. Once I got my certification, as I had mentioned, as a fitness trainer from CanFit Pro, which is the governing body here in Canada, or at least one of the main ones. I printed up resumes, went out, resume in hand, to a bunch of gyms in the area and actually applied in person for a job. And almost the same response from every gym initially. I would say, "Hi, I'd like to speak to a manager, please, or your fitness manager." And then the person in the front desk, like, "Oh, what? Why?" And I said, "Well, I'd like to apply for a job as a fitness trainer." "Oh, did you apply online?" Like everybody else, "Did you send an email?" No, no, I didn't. I didn't apply online. Didn't send an email. Like I'm here, human being, got my resume, and I want to talk to another human being, please. So that went pretty well, and I got a couple of interviews out of it at some of the local gyms here in Hamilton, and went very well with one of the gyms, well enough that they offered me a position. They had me come back in last week and take one of their trainers through a workout to make sure that I actually could walk the walk and not just talk the talk. And that went very well. And last week I started with some onboarding, and I go back in tomorrow, and this is my first almost full-time week. So right now, for the next 3 weeks, I'm still working weekends, finishing up with my dog training clients. So I still have a few more to finish with, and the gym knew that. So I'm working 4 days a week at the gym, and then weekends with my business, and then after that, full time, full time as a fitness trainer. And it's going to be it's a unique career. So anybody that's done fitness training, I think, would understand this. You have a lot of opportunities to try and turn people at the gym into clients, but a big part of the career of a fitness trainer is sales, is selling yourself and getting people to buy training, right? But I mean, that's what I've been doing as a dog trainer. A little different as a dog trainer. I've built a reputation over the last decade, and usually people go on Google and they see that I have 150 5-star reviews, and then they just reach out to me. And because by the time they reach out to me, they're already like committed, like they're looking for a dog trainer, and I'm very reasonably priced for how well I'm rated. So I say, "Hey, I think I can help you with this," and then that's it. So it's usually by the time I get the email from them, I'd say there's a 90% chance that they're going to book with me. And I think when you so this gym offers like free workouts when you sign up. So as a trainer, you get to take somebody through their free workout, and then that's your chance to sort of befriend them and turn them into a client. Um, I bet the rate is probably 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 4 for someone like me that's newer and doesn't sort of have the spiel down and the feel for it. um, I think probably some of the better trainers there, maybe a 1 in 3 ratio. So like I had a chance to sort of see what the other trainers had booked this week, and I'd say some of the other trainers are booking like maybe 20, 25, let's say. Like a good trainer at a gym is booking about 25 clients a week. Um, so that's okay. It's not quite the money I've been making as a dog trainer, but I didn't expect it to be. I knew that was going to be a bit of a dip. But that being said, the money I've made as a dog trainer, I charge about $100 an hour. And I know a lot of people are going to go, "What, are you joking? That's like lawyer money. How dare you?" But I'm a private trainer and I drive to your house. And let's say like this weekend, my first client was 35 minutes away, right? So just a little over an hour drive there and back. So their session, which always runs long. So sessions are an hour, but I always stay a few extra minutes. I arrive a few minutes early. So let's say session is an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes typically. And then it was over an hour of a drive. So now my $100 fee just turned into $50 an hour, if that makes sense, right? A little less because that was a little over 2 hours. Then when I came home that night, I spent about 20 minutes writing up their training plan. Okay, so now the hourly rate is dropping again. So now we're down to about $40 an hour. And to give you an idea, In an average year, I don't mind talking about money with my business to give people an idea. So in an average year, I made about between 50 and 60,000 a year as a dog trainer. I have made more in the past when I was working like 60 hours a week, but that burned me out. So this is on about 50 hours a week, I would say, with all the emails and stuff answered. So about 50 hours a week, and I make about 60,000 a year. Last year in expenses, between the dogs, the van, other expenses, my expenses were almost $30,000 last year. So on $60,000 that I earned, I lost 30,000 in expenses running my business. That's fuel, that's repairs on the van, that's parking, that's dog food, vet bills, everything to go along with the dogs, right? So now I'm down to 30,000 a year. So when people are like, "Wow, you charge that's a pretty good amount of money to charge." It is, but you have no idea what the fees, like how much the expenses pile up in a year. And I suspect I'll make probably at least in my first year, I'd be happy if I made 30,000 as a fitness trainer because I kind of got to learn the ropes and build up a clientele and all of that stuff, build my reputation at the gym. Um, that being said, though, be the same because the gym is only like a 15-minute drive from my home here. So wear and tear on my vehicle is now next to nothing. Outside of gym hours, I'm not answering emails. So like I'm working 40 hours a week at the gym, and now I'm probably going to make close to the same in my first year. I'm hoping anyway, about 30,000 a year. Um, and consider that's because the gym takes a big bulk of what is being charged, right? Like whatever the member is paying for fitness training at the gym, like 2/3 of that goes to the gym, and then the trainers keep a third of that, if that sort of makes sense. So can you make a lot more? Yeah, yeah. If you open your own business, you have a private gym or a private training business where you train clients yourself, then the fee, right, the 60 or $70 an hour fee is yours. It's all yours. So now, you know, on 20 clients a week at $60 an hour, you're making that's a huge, huge difference versus, 20 clients a week at the gym, and the gym is the client's paying, let's say, 65 to $70 an hour at the gym, and then you're walking away basically with about 20 to $24 an hour as a fitness trainer, right? So it's a big difference, but this is a stepping stone. I would like to own my own business. I have my own gym, and I would like to train clients out of my home. But with all that's happened in the last year, I don't know if I'll be living in this house, and I don't know if I'll be able to afford a house on my own in the future. So I don't want to start my own private business only to have it fall apart because there's nowhere for me to take clients after we sell this house. So that was kind of the big decision behind going now to find a job to work at a gym. But I think that has benefits, right? I'm going to learn how to train at a gym. I'm going to be have access to lots of clients. I'm going to develop my skill set, get to work with all kinds of people, elderly people, young people, people that are injured, people that are healthy, people that are overweight, people that want to build muscle, right? All kinds of different goals and reasons that people go to the gym. So I think that's going to be a very, very beneficial thing going to work at a gym. And I'm going to be honest, there's a bit of a relief that I just go and punch a clock now. Like I just go, my schedule set, I go there, and when I leave, my time is my own. But more importantly, my mind is my own. Like my mind for the last decade has always partially been on business. An email comes in on my phone and I answer it. So kind of I'm just used to all day long switching in and out of work mode. Like I'm kind of always working in the back of my mind. And it'll be nice to have that where I just leave the gym and I just leave the gym behind, right? And then I don't worry about the gym until the next day when I'm back at the gym. That being said, I closed my business listing on Google Maps a few days ago, and it was difficult. It was difficult. Like I'm ready to move on from this job, but then the reality of a business that I built over a decade that became very successful, and now I'm closing it, right? Um, and then 2 nights ago, I had a dream about Chickpea, and she died in my arms in the dream. Very much the same way she died in my arms in real life a few months ago, and it's messed me up for the last like 48 hours, man. It's really messed me up. I woke up in the middle of the night and cried for like 2 hours. And, when you're staying busy and focused on all the different things that take our attention away in daily life, it's easy to forget about the grief that is lurking in the background, waiting to rear its ugly head again. And it was sort of a wake up call that I'm not over that yet, that there's still a lot of pain and loss that I'm dealing with from losing her. Man, life is a wild ride. And in a way, I'm thankful for that. I don't want a regular life. I was talking to my dad the other night, and he said, you just always have a different job. Like you've just done so much in your life. You're like your grandfather." So my mother's father, Moon was his nickname, and that's what I called him. He had so many jobs. He ran his own cab company. He worked at a potato chip plant. He sold women's hosiery. Like he had a whole bunch of jobs in his life. And my dad was saying, "You're just like him. You can't just stick to one thing. You get bored too easy and you move on." And my dad said, I came out of school at 17 and I started working at this company that he worked at. He was an engineer and he stayed there until he was 70. And I can't, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine. It's why I ended up where I'm at now, where I don't have a career behind me and I'm not making six figures a year because I've switched careers too many times and I've never stayed with one thing for long enough. Right? Anytime I get up into the 60, 70, $80,000 a year range, I change careers. I burn out. I don't like it anymore, and I move on. And that's the price you pay for always following your passions, right? That's the price you pay. There is a hidden cost to chasing your goals and your dreams, and some people that pans out and they make $1 million a year, and for some of us, we kind of float through life, enjoying our life because we're always doing the thing that we're passionate about. And then when we're not passionate about it anymore, we move on to the next thing. But that comes at a cost. And that cost is you're always starting over at the bottom of the ladder time and time again. And here we go. I stepped on a snake and I slid back down to the bottom. And now I got to climb the ladder again. And those of you my age will probably get that reference, but yeah, here we go again, the game of life. All right, I'm looking forward to this week. Not nervous at all. It just feels very natural. I already feel back at home in a gym again, even though I've been out of a gym atmosphere for quite a while. Just hanging out at the gym all last week, I was like, yeah, yeah, it feels like home again. I like being in a gym. I like being around people that are into working out and that are into fitness, and all these skills that I've developed and honed over the last decade, speaking with clients, making small talk, making connections, and how to teach will just transfer over, and I think it'll feel fairly seamless. So yeah, off we go. New career, old career in the rearview mirror, and in a way, this is sort of the final step of leaving my old life behind and heading into my new one.